Hey guys, welcome back. So we're down here at KDS to give the Suzuki a full detail, paint correction and coating. We've got John from Clean and Shiny just there behind the camera, and Kelly's inside doing something, getting ready. So we're going to take a quick look around the car. We're going to be doing some snow foam pre-wash as well with Labo Cosmetica, and we'll get John in. And hello Kelly. So we're going to be doing some pre-washes with Labo Cosmetica, and John's going to be talking us through the 3 different options that they've got. First of all, we'll have a quick look round and then we'll crack on. Right guys, so we've had a quick look around the car then. As I said, we've come down here today just to get it fully corrected by Kelly, the lovely Kelly Harris of KDS. I've noticed some marks on this already, some sort of hologram marks, a couple of scratches here and there, and Kelly's had a quick look while it's soaking wet, and he's
dirty.
noticed a few.
Dirty.
So, hopefully, Kelly, what have you seen on this so far that it's not even been washed, mind? What have you seen so far that we can probably
There's a few sort of marring marks from wiping with cloths. We got sort of polishing or buffing marks, which Matt's admitted you've fixed something. Or
I tried masking them with Stjarnaglas glass.
Right,
so I
okay.
knew there was there and there was bug in it. No, there was there from the dealer.
So what we're going to do, we're going to wash the car. We're going to wash it. You suggested we wash it my method of how we wash before a correction.
Yeah.
Because your car's brand new, we're going to have to describe some of the washing processes, but we don't need to do them in this video.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Because you've not got a very dirty car. Because we can detail cars that are 5-10 years old, really grimy, full of green moss. So we've got John Hull here from Clean and Shiny.
Hello.
And
hello.
Hello, John. He's going to show us some of the Labo Cosmetica pre-wash cleaners. So we're going to wash Matt's car with those. But really and truthfully, all we're trying to do is get the car clean so that when we take it indoors, we get my nasty little vicious light out and we see all the defects with the car, which we'll do indoors on a proper inspection ramp. What's the story with that, Matt? Have you seen that, Mark? Have a look.
Which mark we're looking at here?
There's a line there. Can you see a line? That one. And then there's a sort of someone's worked at the
That is one that I actually seen the day I picked it up, and I assumed at the time that was glue residue from panel.
Okay.
Saying there may be a mark on the edge of the bonnet.
So what we're going to do, let's wash the car.
Yep.
Let's go for the cleaning process and then we can get indoors. Now, you asked me earlier off camera, I said, stop, let's do it on camera, why not? Do you wash the wheels first or the bodywork first? Now, that depends. If we're going to refurb the wheels, we wouldn't wash the wheels at all. So
of course you want to take them off anyway.
Yeah. So there's lots of variables here, and sometimes if the wheels are really, really bad on the inside, because we've got the ramp inside, we would just leave the wheels alone and bring them out separately and clean them on their own.
Yes.
So if it's a good condition wheel, a car like yours now, we could use the little brushes and get behind the spokes. So I am inspecting a car, and you said this again earlier. Do I inspect a car before it's washed or after it's washed? Depends on the age of the car, condition of the car, and the weather. If it was raining hard or if it's sunny, this would be really easy to see any marks that are on the car out in the sun. But if this is really dirty, it wouldn't be. So I do inspect the car, but really it's age, mileage, colour of the wheels, size of the wheels. Can I get the brushes in the spokes? Am I going to take them off? How long have we got the car for? Which is very different to someone like yourself doing it on the driveway. You haven't got lots of options, have you? You've just got the same repeated.
They need to be ready to drive the next day, so they're not coming off.
No. So of course. So yeah, I would be walking around looking at the sort of dirt in there, the size of the wheels, colour of the wheels, do they need curbing? Is there dents in the panels? And then the thing I worry about the least is actually swirls, buffer lines, holograms, sinkage in the paint. That's actually the thing I find the easiest to deal with. It's the logistics of if it needs a wheel refurb, 4-day turnaround, what ramp it goes on, does it clog up the sort of production line? So look, let's The car doesn't look that bad. We've got the odd little marks up everywhere. So what I did say to you was, generally we would be cleaning all the rubbers.
Yes.
Now my top tip here, I don't care if one of my staff members was to wash the car and the middle of the panel was still dirty, which is probably sacrilege to most detailers. And when I teach and there's cars in there and they're like this with the light, my pupils, they're like, well, the middle's dirty. I went, well, we're going to wipe that inside of a clay lube, then we're going to wipe it with alcohol, like IPA, then we're going to end up claying it, and it will, so it's a quick detail lube, then IPA, then clay lube, then IPA. So this middle gets polished, or cleaned, sorry, 4 times.
Yeah.
But we're going to polish it. So if this surface is dirty, as long as it's clean before you polish, I don't care if we missed it with wash mitt. What we do here, your car doesn't need this though, is we make sure all of these edges are really clean with the little intricate brushes and all the all-purpose cleaners. So we would spend 2-3 hours, sometimes 4 hours, cleaning all the shuts, engine bay, wheel arches, under the car, and all the little gaps. I call it edges of boxes.
Yeah.
So that window frame is a box. So I want that edge of that box to be clean. I want that edge of that box to be clean. Same here, I want that edge there. So this is a box again, so I'd want this shut line in there cleaned. Then I've got a box, the edge of there, I want that clean. Because you can't physically polish in there. And if there's dirt and debris left in there, and you're polishing with a brand new or really clean pad, and you've got clean surface, and dirt comes out of that rubber edge, it goes on the pad, and you get all this micro marring if it's rotary, if it's a DA. If it's a rotary, you get the hologram marks from contamination. So, in your case, because the car is pretty much new, how old is it?
2 months. Barely been driven.
And you've washed it as well, obviously, haven't you?
2 or 3 times.
So what we're going to do, we're just going to use, John Hull's going to explain to us the different sort of processes you've got of different type of snow foams.
Yes.
So I've had lots of conversations with John before. Do we use snow foams? I think you asked me this on an email or something.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah, we
were
did
on
in
a
chat.
the other week, yeah.
So what I've just described, snow foams for me are good at doing pre-cleaning, softening dirt for the middle of the panels.
Yes.
But if we're always correcting here at KDS, which we are, we don't do maintenance washes really, we don't do sort of enhancements, we just fully correct cars. Again, I don't care if this is dirty.
Yeah.
And a snow foam is going to work in these gaps, but it's never going to work like a brush will with a strong cleaner.
Yeah.
But then the reason why I've got the tent here is not for rain, even though it's not rain today luckily, it's the sun, because we want these chemicals to sit on the surface and stain the surface.
Yeah.
So like I say, if I was an hour doing all round the edges and you're cleaning and it's a hot sunny day, it could run down and stain the paint, but it doesn't matter, we're going to polish it. So we're quite unorthodox that we really don't care if I make this paint swirlier, because I'm going to polish it anyway.
Yeah, it's coming out anyway.
Yeah, we're going to break down some clear coat. So my process, I'm going to start with a fallout remover, so G-Technic fallout remover.
Yep.
We always do the wheels first.
Yep.
Well, then I start filling the buckets up with water and the shampoo. While the wheels are dwelling, we can then start rinsing the wheels, because sometimes I do the wheels twice.
Okay.
I might clean them twice, and in your case, because we're limited in time span, we've got 3 days really to turn this around, which is going some, to wash, inspect, fully correct and protect in 3 days, and you drive away, so we need to get cracking really. John might be able to explain what I've got over my shoulder.
An IK Sprayer. Yeah,
Because I would have bought it from John.
an IK Multi 9.
Where can we get them from, John?
You can get them from me at Clean and Shine.
Of course.
Link in the description below, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
And what's this? G-Technic in the
It's the W6, G-Technic W6, yes. There's other fallout removers. John would know what other brands we got with fallout removers.
There is a Geon, G-Technic.
Isn't there a Labo one that
There
you
is a
can
Labo
dilute?
Sodero which you can dilute. Dilutable one, that's right. Pretty much most brands have got something. Dolo Juice, Stiana Gloss. In fact, Stiana Gloss is built into their wheel.
It is. I was reading a bit more about that the other day actually, because you know me, I'm like, I'd rather wheel clean and then fallout. But I was reading on the Huel that it is a soapy iron remover. It's Yeah, it's an all-in-one, so
Absolutely.
I might have to change my opinion on that one.
So, have you put any fallout remover on this car?
No, it's not had any tar or fallout, hence why there might be still some blue marks. It's literally
Right, okay, I'll tell you what I'll do
washed and dried, and that's it. I'm trying leaving it as original from concealer as possible.
Let's do it then. Let's do it. Now, the video of my van doing this is a actual maintenance wash. I put the same amount on as what I'm putting on now, and I remember a few comments saying, "Blimey, that's going to be so expensive." Now, when you look how the cost of having a fully coated, or let's say corrected and coated car, for me, the cost of putting a litre, 2 litres of W6 on occasionally, or a fallout remover, I think is good value in that you're protecting, preserving the surface. If someone wants to spend £1,000–2,000 having a car professionally detailed with really expensive, long-lasting coatings, I would rather once a month use £20–30 worth of chemicals.
Yeah.
I don't see an issue with that, as it's good value. You're preserving what you've had done. Now, I normally would do the bonnet, wait to see the bonnet go purple. If it doesn't go purple at all with any spots, I wouldn't go right around the car.
Yeah.
I would leave the rest of the car alone, but in this case, time's against us, so I'd rather spray all of your car. And I'm going to, so they look quite clean, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Now you can see that I'm even putting more on.
Christ.
Yeah, I know, because they're still dirty. They're still full of iron. We're going to rinse it now.
That's supposed to be a brand new car.
Now, again, hope this is a tip, especially if you work in the sun. Well, I'd never work in the sun. No, I'd hate to work in the sun. When I'm teaching, let's do it that way. When I'm teaching and we've got a car that's going very purple, we try and find a dirty car, I try and say to pupils, quickly rinse the car, so you're slightly diluting the products on there and you're wetting the whole car within 30 seconds. Don't get focused on just doing one area while that part, so the back of the car's in the sun drying out. Does that make sense?
No, I'm going to say I did similar, I can't remember what car it was. Only a few months ago, and it was baking, unexpected baking that day. And I think the way I actually did it was the wash stage. I didn't want the suds drying. I was washing a panel, rinsing it, washing, rinsing. I suppose that's another method, but your way is
we got the
tip. Jetting the bonnet, miss the
so
entire
this,
car several times.
I'm going to basically do this.
Yeah.
So long distance.
Keep it all wet and keep it.
And it's once it's all had a light wetting, then it might. I mean, if it's warmer today, you start to see it drying out. It's not drying out, and then you can pre-wash, and that's the G-Technic W6 out white. It's no snow foam or soap coming out of here. So I want to just pre-wash or pre-rinse, and then go around the other side. And then once it's there, wet. So if any product you put on a car, any cleaning chemical, they're pretty much water-based, all-purpose cleaner. We dilute them. So why does chemicals stain cars in sun? The water has left; it's evaporated, leaving behind the chemicals. So if you keep reapplying water to it, you're diluting it but keeping it wet. It stops the sort of staining.
Yeah.
So you just keep washing it, rinsing it. Like I said, it gives me time to walk around the car, do what I need to do, and it's wet again. It's going to stop any potential chemical burns, staining. You'll see why I do a load of steps.
Yeah.
And now the car's wet, now I'm going to start to rinse off all of the chemicals. John's about to put snow foam in a bottle. You're reading the scale on the side, John.
I did read the scale on the side.
I like your style. Matt,
Hello.
Just a little bit more.
Obviously, this is quite a. You must read or hear about a certain brand of jet wash. Have a bit of a bad rep now for being reliable or not very reliable.
Yeah, but I do want to stand up and Archer industrial range. The big difference in the Archer program.
Yes. Yes. Sorry, John. It's there. On there. You want that?
We need
you
some
want
water.
Here you go. You can do it there if you want.
Okay.
I'll tell you what. Go and do it in the sink because it comes out fast. If I
Right.
adjust it, because John will fill that with it. So, what I want to show you, we'll turn it off just in case.
Yeah.
And then you can buy different size nozzles. You can build a configuration with this new handle how you want. Now this is going to absolutely pour out. Without to actually turn it on. But let's have a look. Right. So as you can see, you can turn the actual fan, the side, and obviously. So, would you like to do this, John, or do you want Matt to do it?
We'll let Matt do it, shall we?
Go on then. Let's do the. There you go.
The fun snow foam. It's the best part.
Now, do you go top to bottom? Bottom to top?
Top to bottom.
That's what, isn't it?
Yeah, it's top to bottom.
Shut up,
It's going to run
I
down.
just naturally do it, and now you just made me think
No,
about it.
it's top to bottom. So go on. It's got a lot of, when I've used it before, I'm surprised how little of the
Yeah.
chemical it's using.
Yeah.
You end up being able to do yours later. Yours.
They did it Saturday.
You have to go around the other way. Well, there's plenty still. There is plenty there.
I know, I didn't pull
It
it
is.
up round.
Thanks. So have you noticed how little it's used?
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
What was that totally full?
It was
Yeah.
full to the top.
900?
Yeah, 900.
Yeah, that's about 200 mil.
So what I would do, myself, personally, I would be now, this is more if you was going to have a car being PPF'd as well. When you PPF a car, because you're using high pressure, depends on who's PPFing and what they're using. Some people use pressure vessels, with really high pressure water, slip solution.
Yep.
So when they're trying to do an area like that and they're pumping really high pressure water in there, it can draw out dirt and debris that's in where the radiators are behind the grills. So I would then definitely snow foam more than I would normally in those areas.
those, yeah.
So it would be not as a fan.
More of the jet pack.
Yep, it's going to be in there.
Here's me always wondering what's the point of using that set.
And then up in the wheel arches.
Yeah.
And now if you look, I'll do it around this side, we'll be able to see on the camera, you can now get the foam, if I pull this right out and go right round, we can get the foam on all the little
Right
edges. So you see the purple still? There's still purple. Look. There you go.
Yeah.
So that's why you snow foam and jet it to clean out where the last. So what you've got a fallout remover, and I've seen people complain about fallout remover. It's on a thread recently, some Facebook group of someone washing a car and a Volvo new or the Polestar rear brakes clamped on. The problem is you've got a fallout remover, which is an iron, attached iron. It's then left sitting there wet. That's now on your suspension, that fallout remover.
Yeah.
That's where that purple's coming from. So I would always try and get rid of all that fallout remover from around the suspension components. It'll make it corrode because they're bare iron and steel. It's going to corrode. So I would always be blasting and look, the purple coming out. Now, so I will repeat that if this car was in with us now, this age of this car and the mileage and then, I would literally be in fallout remover on there, rinsing it, washing it, rinse it indoors.
And that's it, yeah.
Because we're just doing this demonstration of just sort of different products and techniques and trying to describe when we would use what and why.
Yeah.
And I must admit, it does smell nice, but
Yeah, it does smell nice.
I suppose as well for
but I still don't understand. 'Cause it's like,
but for the pro, it's all about as soon as you can get it in there, the better. But for
correct.
John's customers,
Correct.
I'm guessing 90% of yours must be enthusiast based.
Yeah.
So it's Sunday afternoon enjoyment. Isn't it?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Smells
What I
lovely.
do is very different to how I used to do my cars on the driveway
Yeah.
or on the road. Completely different.
Yeah.
And it was very product based, loads of potions and lotions and chemicals, where the experience I got now of machine polishing, you just would machine polish away, and when you realise you're taking so little paint off when you know what
Yeah.
you're doing properly,
Yeah.
the fear goes, the danger goes. We all probably sell a lot of products that add gloss to swirly paint or mask swirls as well, like makeup for cars.
Yeah.
And then that makeup for cars gets stripped off easy if you use the wrong pre-wash chemicals.
That's right.
So I get it, but it's something I never use. So if anyone tries to interview me about it, I'm like, I don't know, because we do it one way now.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we sell an awful lot of Purifica. That's probably the most popular snow foam that we do
Right.
because of the fact that it renews their coating.
So-
They use it once a month.
We can now, and I get that makes sense because of. I totally get that because you're cleaning this coating well with quite a strong snow foam.
Yeah.
But it's been specifically designed with the chemistry to unclog the surface of nano coatings, which
That's right.
is why I don't put anything on my van. I just put fallout remover and strong chemicals. I've not got any fear when talk about TARDIS and
Yeah.
tire and glue remover. If I got glue in my car, I can use tire and glue remover, and it doesn't take the nano coatings off because they're protected. Well, Matt, it's ready for you to rinse then.
boom. Let's
Really,
go.
it's down to you for rinsing and washing now.
Yep.
Cheers, mate.
I'll get a break. You got... So I'm watching you, Matt. It's really interesting. Your mind, you have to take away that foam because you feel like it's got
No.
to go. Go on,
It's because you're watching.
stop it.
I'm not going to leave a bit of stuff.
You can leave it.
And then it's the final rinse is when it's got to rinse.
Yeah.
clear.
Again, this is
It's
fine.
because you're watching me, that's why.
If this was a maintenance wash,
See, this sun's there still.
yeah, okay, I'll let you off. If this is a maintenance wash, then yes, it makes sense to do that. But the
But
fact,
no, I know, mate. I don't always get, especially like the boot trap. I
Yeah.
don't spend that much time around. I just rinse it with the mirrors, back the mirrors,
but
and then once I've done the wash, it's got a run clear.
we get a really dirty Range Rover or an X5 or an X7 or a car like that that's a few years old, been used, and they've got dogs and they've gone in the fields. It's not unusual. We spend 8 hours cleaning the car before we're going to correct it.
I thought you were saying snow foam in
No,
the car.
no, it's so muddy. And you've got
Yeah.
greasy, something 50, 60,000 miles that's been used for what it's designed for. We can be pretty much all day
Yeah.
before it goes indoors. And that's where it makes a mockery of this O&R, waterless wash. You're like, if I can justify and prove all day long that we could spend that long, how can you clean a car? You can't.
I think there's a time for O&R,
Yes.
but I think there's also a time for a proper
Yeah.
full-on wash.
to be fair, could have done O&R with this.
You probably could have done with this.
It doesn't matter if you
Probably
mark
should
the
have thought
thing.
about that. I've still never done O&R. In like 15 years, I have never done
I don't
O&R.
know.
But if you've
My
got-
dad uses it.
So if you've got a bucket of O&R
Yeah.
and I would do a bucket of O&R, the sponge, the big black sponge,
Alright.
big red sponge, whichever one you're using. But I would also have an IK sprayer with O&R in it.
Yes.
I'd pre-spray the panel. I'd then clean the panel with the sponge, and I wouldn't put it back in the O&R bucket. I'd have a rinse bucket, and I'd
Okay.
rinse it.
So
because,
it's not waterless wash though, because you've got water in all these products.
but nothing's waterless wash.
no, exactly.
Water's a carrier for all of
Yeah.
it.
But that's what I mean when they call it a waterless wash. It's so wrong, isn't it?
That's why they call it no rinse, because
Right,
you don't
yeah.
need to rinse it afterwards. You can literally wash it and then wipe it
Right.
down.
So this will be Matt's opinion of which mitt he likes
Yeah.
then. Yeah.
Oh, you don't know yet though.
Nor do I.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the noodles. You go with the other one, and we'll swap around.
Which one's we on? Oh, this one's washed.
So
The one with wash on it.
yeah. So I'm going with in hand. So again, I'm going to now say when I wash a car, I'm pushing my fingers round the edge of the box. So I've got my fingertips. There's a tiny bit of dirt there. I've got my fingertips running round the edge and up under that edge there, and then I'd flip and do the middle.
Yeah.
Now, it's quite. So, do you sell the Dodo Juice wash
The
mitts?
5-finger thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to explain. So, I would do that through the middle, then flip. So again, up here, I would do the edges, and I'll show you why I like.
Because you can get in with the fingers.
I never wear a wash mitt, but that's never even really occurred to me.
No,
doing that.
but I don't mind doing it that way.
Yeah.
But I can't push
can't
my
get in.
fingers in there as well now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So up until recently, and then I do the middle flat. So for me, it was. I struggled with every type of mitt because of I didn't like wearing it. I like to hold it. So then even if we did it with this one, we got the same thing. Now that's too fat to curve round under there. It's me being very particular. So I'll get under that, around that edge, and I can't really poke it in there at all now. It's impossible. So now you're just cleaning the middle, which we're about to correct. Why are we making sure we put little swirls in with a lovely plush mitt? I want the gaps in the edges. It's the edges of the boxes. And funny enough, it's going to get really boring because when we start polishing, it's going to be all about edges of boxes. So if I was to now pick up, I'm going to have to go and get it actually, because you asked Ashley in there because he's taking it away, hasn't he, for the Dodo Juice one. Have a go. Have a go with him too on summer.
This is where you was talking about the difference between a maintenance and a correction wash. You don't care about the middle on a correction wash. So a mitt would be what you use on a regular maintenance that everyone's doing on the drive on a Sunday. Then the pad,
yeah.
Because they don't get under this.
So that's why I want to show you the Dodo Juice one that they've just launched, and I'm sure. So look.
Captain Crevice, I think.
So this is now. I do put it on both hands. John didn't know that to get two.
Microfiber one side and.
Correct, and I have one side one way, one side the other. You laugh.
I like that. That's a good sales pitch.
You've got both.
You wear? Did you just say he wears two?
Yeah,
He wears
I'll go and
two.
get the other one.
Like some sort of
So he has
Hang
one.
on a minute.
He has one with microfiber and one with.
You've got the option. I've got the option, haven't I? So I can go and I can feel, and you laugh, you mock me, but you wait, you try it. So now I can go in there with long fibres or short, so I can go over the short for the middle, and I can push into the edges and round in there and get round the gaps.
I see.
He's got me going into gaps now.
Because detailers don't, and I think it's really silly, because that's the dirtiest bit of the car.
Yeah.
Only thing you have to wash.
Yeah, it is the only thing you have to wash.
But I suppose that's where detailers think, oh well, a brush does that.
Come on then.
They get him with a brush.
There you go.
What, your woolly mammoth?
You go. I like that one.
There you go.
You need to sell two every time, John.
Exactly. I need a 2-pack.
Can you sell them as left-handed and right?
That's a good idea.
They are universal.
Oh Christ, that's weird.
Why do you think I've got two of them?
Look, hang on, I've got a Dodo Juice shot.
Look.
I should have got it with Kelly.
Look.
But I've got a Dodo Juice shot
I am
now.
the boss of Wash.
Yeah.
Come on.
There you go, that'll do. Thank you.
Alright, let's wash my hands.
Now you go around that bonnet edge, like I did, Matt, and you round the bonnet on the edge. Yeah. You can put your fingers and tuck round the edge there, can't you? You can, can't you?
I'll let you off. After a few decades, I suppose you've picked up a few things.
Now tell me you can't clean that wiper blade properly. If you lift it up with one hand, and then you can get your finger there, look.
Yeah.
There you go. And
I can get right
hang on a
into
minute,
my
hang on,
arm.
it's the wrong length fibres.
Oh, sorry.
It's your wrong hand. Yeah, that's it.
I'm going to watch on this hand as well.
But you couldn't do that with a flat pad, could you?
The little fingers keep flopping.
Oh, you want to...
we need different sizes of these now.
But you can have 2 noodle mitts if you wanted. It doesn't matter. But
Yeah, no, I get it. Joking aside, I can completely see.
Or we used to use. We've still got the G10 ones now. I don't wear them, but what I would do, I'd be pushing my finger in them. But sometimes in a very dirty car, I would put my hand in because I want that to be able to poke down and in the edges.
Yeah.
It's just detailers have got so wrapped up with, and this includes me, the paint being perfect, which we will make on your car, but the car's still dirty. The car's still dirty around the gaps and edges.
Yeah.
And we've got so wrapped up with bright lights and the sort of what colour walls we make and what square lights, rectangle lights, strip lamps, round lights, to all show swells, but no one even bothers just to look at the dirty edges.
Boom. You happy with that, sir?
I'm always happy.
Cool. That's how we do it up north.
So should we get? I'll go and get the blow dryer as well.
Dry.
You can make it as swirly as you like. Matt's thinking, what?
I was like, just gotta trust Kelly, huh? Trust this geezer knows what he's doing.
I'll actually move the this out of the way.
Try the old Instagram favourite. There we go. Just throw it. It's like no effort. Quite, isn't it, Johnny?
No, this is it.
So easy.
Nice and easy.
He comes out with his fancy blow dries and everything. He just needs to waft a towel.
And I don't dry a car like that.
Sorry?
I don't dry a car like that. Nor does Jay, shaking his head.
60 mile an hour at the car park.
No.
The old school way.
We just rub it because I'm going to polish it.
Just as a burn out all the way down.
Because we're going to polish it.
Yeah.
I'm going to polish the windows.
You're going to wet it anyway, like if you're going to clay it, you won't bother. I know, you would
No, I don't care that I'm going to mark the car. I want to dry it. Yeah, I want to get it dry because I want to be able to inspect it. But what I mean is by that, I wouldn't be as careful as that.
Yeah. No, I was only.
When it's a I know you're doing. When it's a maintenance wash, then maybe yes.
Yeah. Alright, so that's the wash stage all done then, and yeah, picked up a few new tips and tricks there from Kelly, especially getting into the edges, especially on a contact wash and a correction wash, should I say. So I've never understood wearing a mitt, but Kelly,
Kelly
he's
two mitts.
shown us, yeah,
Kelly two mitts. Kelly two mitts.
Oh, I like that.
Kelly two
Yeah.
mitts. So you see someone wandering around Gillingham, it's this guy here. So happy days.
Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully you can see why we've all got our own idea of what we prefer. You've learned something about. You can explain to your customers really now, can't you?
I have. Yeah.
So hopefully everyone watching as well, not just John's customers, but even putting a bit of shampoo in the rinse bucket.
Yeah.
It's like never crossed mine and John's mind doing
I'll do that going forward.
But
Well, shampoo is a lubricant.
yeah,
So if you can keep the mitt lubricated, this was a hybrid wash. I've said it loads of times, because it's not really a correction wash as such you're doing. It's a more Howard maintenance wash the car. But what we've got left to do now really is dry the brakes,
yep.
drive it indoors, and then actually look at what needs polishing on it.
Yeah, so
we did see on the windscreen, didn't we?
some massive rain on the ring screen. So that's pretty much it for this episode. Then we're going to be driving it inside, as Kelly said, doing an inspection on this. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe. Again, a big thanks to Lake Concrete for arranging this. Make sure you check out Kelly's channel. I'll put a link below, and we'll see you in the next video. Boom.
Thank you.